Stream Elements said the Busy Builder is now live. Streaming art, 1/16 Takom Wiesel 1 MK20 Crew Paint.
Hello.
Leo2A7DK said back at the flat.
Hey, Alex. Oh. Hello. You're up. You're up late. Well, I've been tinkering on the Weasel a little bit. Just trying to get it finished now. How are you? And yes, I did check. There are female Fallschirmjäger. So she will have a maroon beret.
Leo2A7DK said, yeah. Hope to see some nice people streaming.
Yeah, with everything going on here the past 2 days, I'm amazed there's any nice people left right now. Everybody seems to hate each other. I say let them.
Our Summer's Core Studios just redeemed free.
Hey Aries, how you doing? I'm not going to get too detailed on like the lower body, because all you're really going to see is like that much of her sticking out of the hatch. I mean, you'll be able to look down in the hatch and see her, so I'm going to do the whole body. It's a shame Takom didn't just, you know, give us an interior in these things. I know I say that every time I work on the Weasels. What company did you... Was it you that told me that some company made an A1 kit for it? If you know what it was, or who it was, send me a link, please. Because I think I've got enough room still I could throw it on. I haven't finalized everything too much. Wasn't it perfect scale?
Leo2A7DK said, yeah. We're probably right. Let them hate each other so we can have a nice chat.
Exactly. I don't care who you are, as long as you're a good person. Trying to keep the spots even for the dithering effect. We got a weather front coming through tonight, so my joints are hurting more than usual. I don't know, I think I do a passable job at doing Flecktarn in paint. Come on, focus. There. It looks right when viewed at the right distance. Wow, autofocus, you just hate me today, don't you? There. Gotta work on the face a bit more. Hey Jeff, I like the toe figure for the Takom Wiesel's commander figure for the 20 mil more than I like it for the toe. I might see if I can find a different set of crew for the Takom Wiesel. I may even order some more camo net and stuff for that. I almost picked up the Tamiya German one the other day, but the shop wanted 80 bucks for it, and I'm like, no. Now the dots don't have to all be the same size, but they do have to be kind of close in density, so like the amount of spots per area. I know it's weird. If you've seen the actual camo, you know exactly what I mean. Nope, for this little bugger. These are way too big for Humvees. The engine for the Stinger Humvee should be here Friday. And I've got new wheels. And welcome back, Davos. That's probably enough on the dark yellow spots anyway. Got these from Panzer Art. If you want good wheels for an early version, there you go. These are for the Bushmaster. I didn't know if I was going to be on today or not. I woke up at about midnight, just coughing like crazy. It felt like all the moisture just got sucked out of the air in the house. And then as quickly as I was coughing, it was gone. Probably choked on my own spit for all I know. But I'd only been asleep for an hour, so it's like, really? But since kick is now basically out of the question, yeah, if you want to support the channel, Twitch right now is the only option, so. And for those of you who do sub regularly, thank you very much. It is appreciated, and I do notice. What do pilots hate, or pirates hate when they climb ropes on ships? Arthritis. I know, bad dad joke. More like a wah wah wah. I always start out with the large splotches of the color like this, just to make sure I've got a good even undertone. And then I go back and just break it up more with the dots. And when it's all done, it usually looks right. Wah wah wah. Try it with more spaces, like wah, wah, wah. What, the joke that I said, or the wah wah wah? The thing is, it didn't even try and lengthen out the wah, it's just wah wah wah. What? See, you can hear it talking through the computer now? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. See if she can even pronounce that. Waiting for you to say, hell, you can't even spell it. What the fuck was that? Oh my god. You broke her.
Virus_Studios said now it made my day.
See, you're not bored at least anymore, right?
At Leo2A7DK said the pirate joke was fun. Was at the little house and nearly couldn't keep a straight line. I am also in the dad line of humor.
Yes, once you've been a father, dad jokes are mandatory. It's always fun trying to figure out how to trip up a text-to-speech computer, though. Is it me or does it feel like this camera's too bright? Yeah, give me a sec. I didn't configure the vidya. Sharpness. Bump up the saturation a little bit. Yeah, I was not prepared today. I came unprepared for class. Yeah, we'll keep it darker like that. It seems a bit more legit to what I want to. Seems a bit more legit to what I'm actually painting and showing. And the other thing about Flecktarn camo is it's not always just little dots, like you see here. Those are all like mostly evenly spaced dots for the old SS pattern. Flecktarn's loosely based on that, but it's more blobs and dots than it is just dots. Got to get the under boob and the boob edge there. But I'm just gonna basically put her down through the turret hole and shove her head up through the driver's hatch. And the stick here is what's going to be holding her up. I've already got the height and everything worked out. Oh yeah. If you can't embarrass them, you ain't doing it right. They gotta do the eye roll. You gotta make them do the eye roll. You're not having fun if they're not rolling their eyes. I do that to my son all the time when he comes home from his college. I'm like, so what's up with the skibbity riz, boy? And he just turns red and shakes his head. Again, probably never going to see it, but it just keeps the consistency down for when I'm painting it. If you're not embarrassing your kids, you're not parenting right. And it is every parent's God-given right to embarrass the shit out of their children. I don't care who you are and what you say. But you can't only do just that. You also got to earn the dad points. Like, you should have seen his face when we, let's say I had to pick him up from work one day, and on the way home I may have possibly gone past 110 miles an hour in the Camaro. And you should have seen his face. It's starting to blend out. Come on.
At Leo 2A7DK said exactly. They need simple string in this life. Humor and music. And violence. I still call my godson Honey. He is 19, and he loves it.
But yeah, I'll be streaming on Friday, unless, you know, Mother Nature turns to absolute shit. And then Sunday and Friday next week is when my scheduled streaming days will be. I need a snack. Cheez-Its are fine. But I've also got something else to work on after this. We just happened to get a 1/16 scale M113 in with the extended fuel tanks. Actually, let me put that back on the floor in case Allie decides to join us. There isn't one. Technically speaking. You just want to hear me say it more. Might have to start charging the Humvee tax if you want to make me say it. There is one commercially available kit. I do have it. It's hard as shit to find. And it took me a year of searching until I saw one miraculously appear on eBay, and I grabbed it immediately. So I do have one in 1/16 scale. I've showed it off on the stream before. But I have not seen it since then.
Online Davos said love the
End result's going to be like that.
All 9 favors said the color ratios look right.
And that's the hard thing to really nail down with this pattern, is making sure you get those colors balanced, because you could easily do one more than the other. And it really is meant to gray itself out. And you're really only going to see, like, the upper part of her sleeve here and her shoulders and maybe part of her chest. But you'll be able to look down through the hatch and see the rest of her too, so may as well be complete about it. Alex, thank you very much for the tip. Your continued support is much appreciated.
Alex tip $30. You are going ballistic. So nice chatting and watching. Good advice here. Sue.
So when I do it though, if you saw her at the beginning, you would have seen it was just big blotches of the 5 colors, and then I go back with those same colors and add the dots. And to me, that's the real trick about getting all the different color saturations right, not overdoing any one of them. But I might be coming down with something, though. Like I said earlier, I woke up at fucking midnight after only being asleep for about an hour, and it felt like all the moisture just got ripped out of the air, and I just started coughing like crazy for a good 20 minutes. That normally doesn't happen to me, especially being an ex-smoker. It's odd that it doesn't happen more frequently, but what can I say? Who is that? Do we have an alley? We have an alley. Hi, girl. Hi, precious. Come here. I made a space for you. Do you need a box top, or are you going to be okay with just table? Good girl. Couldn't tell if it was her or Frankie. They're both bricks of cats. Nice. I haven't pulled my midsections of Event Horizon off the plates yet. I think you can do a pretty good job on this one, even if you don't light it. Just having it be all dark gray with, you know, the brown tones and everything. Make it moody looking. I just wish I could find a file for the Lewis and Clark and have it sticking off the side of the docking bay. I know, such exhilarating painting polka dots. Mm-hmm. The same distribution of spots. How much would I have to change to make my M113 Danish? Right now it's a... let's say a first Gulf War M113A2. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. She knows she's in charge here. She is, obviously. And I completely missed the spots on that part of her leg, but I'm not too concerned. I'd say maybe I should do a stream in my full plate carrier and Flecktarn uniform, but I think that would be a bit weird. And that could get expensive if that became a regular thing. Just whatever I'm working on, wear the camouflage from it. I am not about to fork out the kind of money they want for summer and spring pattern World War II uniforms. And forget getting some Belgian puzzle. Not that I really work on anything Belgian. But I could. I'd want it sometime in the early to mid-90s. Alright, let's move on to the NATO black. So the 5 colors I use, if anybody wants to match this, they're all Tamiya colors, just to keep them even, is NATO brown, NATO green, dark yellow, NATO black, and RLM gray. And I match them to a brand new set of uniform material. Pretty girl. Are you trying to make up for biting me last night, huh? Yeah. No nips. Yeah, you don't nip me. Or to quote the guy that owns the coyote, you don't yar me. Yeah. Oh, you got eye boogie. Pretty girl. Yeah. So if you get a brand new bottle of Tamiya, let me see if I have one that's close to new. I don't know. This one might... Nope, that one's ancient. That one's actually pretty close to new level. I've just not used it in very long. No. Well, yeah, that's about right for a new bottle. It's probably evaporated a little bit. So what I do, and it doesn't ruin the paint, is you get a new bottle, and you see where the paint level is when you buy it. You spray some Windex or other ammoniated window cleaner in, right up to where the neck narrows. Shake, and brush paint away. It still dries pretty quick, but not like it would fresh out of the bottle. You know. I've been doing it this way for... God, almost 25 years now. It's never driven me wrong. I don't know, because I've also seen Windex strip years old dried Tamiya paint off of a model in seconds. I know it does something to thin it, and it also retards the drying time, so it doesn't gum up as much on your brush. Yeah, I don't have the ACAV turret. I got basically the first Gulf War version. I almost got the ACAV one, but I wanted to do a specific one that's in. I can't tell if it's the modular camo from the 80s or if it's the NATO 3 color. I think I've got examples of both. But that with the combat identification plates, you know, those kind of ribbed metal panels they put on them. I got images of one from early in the Gulf War that have those. And so the vehicle will be in the NATO camouflage, or a version thereof, and the plates will be sand. Alright, Davos, take it easy. Yeah, I'll be on earlier Friday, I hope. But the thing I noticed about it is the way, instead of tying the Alice packs and stuff to the old antenna guards and machine gun guards that were on the top of the vehicle, they ran a cargo strap from one guard to the next, and then they tied their packs to the cargo strap, and I want to replicate that. And I've got a packet of Value Gear Alice packs and stuff like that to use. So it's right before the changeover to the Molly gear, at least. So it'll be 2003, 2004. Yeah. I figured I'd get on and try and use this as a chance to get the camo on her done. Get her boots painted too. Well, with your interest in the Bosnian theater, have you seen the BBC movie that was made back in the, I think, the late 90s, early 2000s? Would have been about the same time as Band of Brothers, because Damian Lewis is in it. And he looks about the same. Called Warriors, about a British warrior detachment that was sent to Bosnia. It's one of the few movies I've seen outside of Behind Enemy Lines that even tackles the Bosnian conflict in any kind of way. I've got the DVD around here somewhere. I can show you the cover. Heck, I've got one of my brother's old UN Civpol uniforms from the Kosovo portion of that. The one thing he regrets from all that, though, is one day they were responding to a altercation at some farmer's place, and, you know, they have to clear the building out and look for any weapons. It's, you know, typical procedure. And being the good American police officer he is, he found a perfectly preserved and maintained MP40 and turned it in. He only came to find out later that he didn't have to. Nice. No, the Warriors film, though, I don't think ever got released in America, which is strange. Or if it did, it was in a very limited capacity. Now the next question I've got is, both these characters are wearing cold weather gear. One's got the body armor, she's got her little hoodie and everything. I almost want to get some of the Vallejo snow effects and kind of mess around with that on the vehicle a little bit, but I'm not too sure I want to go that far. Because I've got that YouTube video that shows the Wiesel Mark 20 on exercise in the snow. And it wouldn't be adding a lot to it, but just, you know, built up in the camouflage netting and here and there on the vehicle a little bit. Oh, and there is that marking on the back of it. As you get further along in doing the camouflage, you really have to keep an eye out for areas that you've missed, because it actually starts doing its job against itself better as you go along, and you can't make out areas as easily where you may or may not have put the dots on already. But while my brother was in Kosovo, he also found out that Germans actually have a sense of humor. Because his partner was German, and they had to go to his base camp for something. And as they're driving along, he's like, there's something wrong with this German camp. He's like, what? And his friend starts freaking out a little bit because he thinks my brother saw something, you know, bad. My brother snaps his fingers and goes, that's right, the guns are pointing outward. And the guy just looked at him like, what? And started laughing. Don't you dare nibble on me. I felt that. You were trying. But it is hump day, so figured I'd get on today. It's actually my Thursday, but it's the midday of the week for most everybody else. Who are you looking at? Is there another kitty down here that you keep looking at? I don't see anybody. There's no Frankie. Yeah, there's no Frankie down here to bother you. Pretty girl. Yeah. Sorry, taking a cat break. So while I'm letting that set up for a second, one thing I did on this that I didn't do to the 35th scale camo net is I actually backed it with medical gauze and then dyed the, or I stretched the gauze out and then dyed it the right color, and then I just spot glued it to the back of the netting, so if you ever get a really close-up look, you can actually see the actual net inside that it's all attached to. I think that really helps it out, but this turned out really good to me. I think it looks good. It feels natural the way it's hanging. I'm gonna have to order some more of that. I've got a Gepard to do. I need to make some bundles of it for the back of that. And I might even put some of my Leopard 2 A7. Or, no, the A7... Well, I've got an A6 that I could put it on. But the A7 would use the Velcro stuff. What are you thinking about? Yeah. Or like that one German comedian in the 70s. You see the clip every now and again on YouTube where he's, you know, hip hip hooray, and he does the whole Sieg, and then the audience responds. He goes, "Oh, that's not good. We're not supposed to do that." Got a lot of comrades in the audience though. Okay, last color is the RLM gray. I don't know how much of this we're going to do on the RLM gray because I'm really beginning to lose track of what's where, which means I'm getting it right. And if I remember right, this color isn't very prominent on the actual camouflage. It's like of all the 5 colors, it's the one that you see the least when you look at it. What? Somebody here? Somebody coming? My little protector. Hi, precious. I see nobody. Yeah. Good girl. And we are going to lightly dry brush on the figure afterward. I'm going to try and pluck things out with a wash. I want to go back and do that to him too. I want to get some of the seams on his bulletproof vest a bit more, and on the legs. You're going to see a lot more of him sticking out than you will her. Then I might dry brush with a highlight color, just to pop out the edges of things just a hair bit more. And of course it's going to look like absolute crap up close. But when you look at it from the right distance, it looks right. A little bit of a paint chip there. That's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna probably order some more of that netting in 16 scale. I got a lot more projects to use it on. Heck, I've got the whole other Weasel to put it on if I really want to. Another thing I wanted to try was I got some of this stuff out of the yard. I want to see what happens to it when it dries without painting it. See if it stiffens up enough that I could use it as kind of scale branches and then paint the leaves. It's like a small fern type plant. But I really wish that Coolbank or Tongday, most likely Coolbank, because they're the ones really throwing the tiny RC tanks out there, like the Stuart and one of the cruisers. I think they did a Cruiser Mark III. But it'd be nice if they did this one. I've got the gearbox to put into the Weasel if I really wanted to do another one. I just don't know how well the tracks would last, even if I tried. Oh, the Malinois? Yeah, they're guided rockets with teeth. One of my coworkers also does animal control. And part of his duties is he gets to go to the schools when the police are talking to the kids, and they demonstrate the fat suit, you know, the attack dog training suit. And he comes walking out in it, and I kid you not, the thing flashes across the room and is attached to his arm, and he's just standing there, because in the training they gotta make noise to make it simulate a suspect. And he's just sitting there. He showed me the video. He's all, ah. He's got this dog hanging off his arm. And even through a full-size bite suit, his entire arm right here was just covered in bruise. And I think the dog even punctured the suit at one point because it looked like there was a small hole in his arm that had been bleeding. Yeah, those Belgian dogs, do not screw with them. Hi, Allie. What do you keep looking at? There's nobody down here. Why are you so defensive? Now let's see if I can make her look a little more human and less like Greta Thunberg. Your tail is becoming an annoyance right now, Allie. I painted the initial flesh tone on, and now I'm playing around with the Vallejo Flesh Wash acrylic wash. Can't say I'm too pleased with it. I might just stick with my oil washes for figure faces this small from now on. Jeez. How dare you? Oh, wait. Too soon? Not soon enough? And thank you for not trying to be the center of attention, little kitty. She hasn't tried moving into the front of the camera now. No, I've said that, though. Tad bit better, not my best. Let's let that layer dry for a moment. This might actually be the right color out of the bottle. Doubt she'd wear it in the tank, but it's a model. I don't care. Now, let me put this on and see how it dries. We can always darken it down, but I think for the most part it might be pretty darn close to what I want for the base color. It really does look like it. So for non-figure related 3D print subjects, like you've heard me say, I've been working on printing an Event Horizon. But Ares wants to do his first, so letting him do that. But there is the prawn suit from District 9. Something's up with the primer right there. Allie, you're making me fucking paranoid. Quit doing that. What always makes me kind of go when I watch the videos on this vehicle, I've linked to it before, but it looks like the service weapon at the time would have been the G36. And we're not talking the carbine variant or the short version. We're talking the full length, full on G36. And you'll see the commander bring his inside, but the driver's is just sitting here on the front of the vehicle while they're driving around through the snow and the mud and shit. And I'm like, if you lose that, that's, yeah. And it doesn't look like it's held down to anything, by anything. Sorry, just flexing my ankles a bit. My lower body's gotten very cold today for some reason, especially the feet. Bad circulation. You would think that they'd have the MP7, but no. Here, I'll link it again just so you can see. I'll link it again so you can see the what I'm talking about. And it's not just there for the video, it's... Okay. The MP7 would make more sense. Okay. Hi. Big stretch. Big stretch for the girl. Yeah. Scritches. Scritches! You knocked the paper towels over. Why'd you do that? Oh, it's because your butt's wide. Yeah. Come here. And we're going to use one of the new brushes I bought yesterday. What are you doing? I see what you're looking at. You better not be thinking of coming in front of the camera. Don't play with the sandpaper. You didn't say the magic word. I need a smaller, pointier brush. There we go. So I'm going for a mid shade. That's lighter than what I just put on, but not the highest. So if I went to Germany and somehow managed to go around to some of their training areas and looked around long enough, it's feasible I might find a functioning G36 just forgotten out in the woods because it fell off the front of somebody's fucking tank. It's the driver's one I'm looking at, right in front of the hatch, on top of the camo netting. And I might also make the plate carrier like they have and drape it over the commander's hatch on the turret. like how this brush is acting. I might have to get some conditioner and condition those. And there's one scene where you see them prepping the front of the vehicle, making sure the camo net's all secure. And the one guy kneeling down almost puts his barrel right into the mud. Not my best face, but I'll live with it. Maybe it'll pop out better once I get the hair painted. Okay, I need... There it is. There. Yeah, this stuff is great. Always looks like it's going on too dark, but once it dries a little bit, it's perfect. It's too far away from the hatch. And it's too high up to be attached to one of the Pioneer tools. Because, yeah, here's the front end. It's like right here. With the stock folded. And the Wiesel's an aluminum hull, so it can't be magnetic. I'd like to find some 16 scale G36s just to dress up the outside of a couple vehicles. Actually, I think I have this jacket she's wearing upstairs. Or I have the Gore-Tex version of it anyway. Yeah, if I could, I would love to buy a Weasel. But that's not happening. I think the next equivalent scout vehicle that'll be as much fun will be the Scorpion or the Scimitar from the British CVRT series. Hey, model student, how you doing? What the hell? Just trying to put some finishing touches on the Takom Wiesel Mark 20. Definitely won't be finished today. Probably finish it up Friday. And the other figure I was painting last week. It's a 5-color camo pattern. Yeah, most others are usually 3 to 4. Like the American BDU pattern was 4 colors. It's a good one, but it's also an absolute pain in the ass. There's only one other camo type I'd hate to paint more, and that's Marpat and Cadpat. Okay, that is a black band around the base. we're getting near the end for this song. Actually, I need to look up. The headset that the crew uses. Just so I can get some colors. Okay. Just looks like black and olive drab. You didn't need to. You wanted to. Just like I didn't need to order these resin wheels for my Bushmaster. But I wanted to. Humvee wheel freshness. I didn't need to order the engine bay for it, but I wanted to. Get a bit more music going. But modern cockpits have come a long way since the days of Revell and Monogram. Like AMK models, if you ever build their 48 scale F-14D, you won't want to buy a resin cockpit for it. It's just as good as any resin cockpit in plastic. Nope. The only Meng kit I have ever built, believe it or not, is their Wartoons Tiger 1 and their Pershing. Outside of that, I've got no experience with Meng. Well, the thing about aftermarket is it'll have more detail, and it'll generally have all the right bumps and blobs and dials and dots in the right place. But you have to measure it out with how much of it you can see. Like on the F-15E that I did, I knew I'd see a lot of it, and I wanted to replicate that cramped feel that the Monogram or Revell kit just could not replicate whatsoever. I know on the 15E they don't use blocks like the 16 series does, so it wasn't a block 42, but it was Suite 3 or 4 was the model, because they were just getting upgraded to Suite 5 when I stopped working on them. Aries, correct me if I'm wrong. He may have also succumbed to the nap trap. Yeah, I don't know if I'll finish this on stream. I definitely want to get the crew figures in tonight, because I'd like to do a short with this weasel. I've seen some 3D printed decals, or whatever you want to call them. The 3D decals for the Humvee, and the details are right. They're printed in color. They look cartoonish. The detailing is too saturated and too out there. I need to search Bundeswehr tank crew headsets again, because I don't know where the mic is on this type. I need to add that. It looks like they may have still been using, no, that's World War II. Yeah. I should specify. I said Bundeswehr. Why is it showing me here? I will never understand why they fucked up Google. Modern. Still show me World War II crap. And I don't want the helmet. Okay, looks like it comes off the left side. Okay. I will live with that. Come on, close up, paint. The motto student, the butcherer of kits. I mean that in jest. Don't take me serious. Sorry. Don't kill me. I have such dreadful things to show you. Ares Studios left. I have offended him. Now just make your AH1Z a what if, and literally make the hair of every rivet counter burst into flames. Then I'll buy one for Christmas and build it the right way to appease the modeling gods, and you can just have fun with your build. I'm kidding. No, that's just it. I was looking up Bundeswehr for the headset, which is a different design than what here would have used in World War II. So it kept showing me World War II shit, and it's like, I don't want Wehrmacht, I want modern. But no! Yeah, I don't think that one guy was happy when you decided to run with the H2 wheels. I was laughing all the way to the bank, but, you know. And the main reason I'm trying to stay somewhat appropriate, you know, I don't want to say exact or correct, because I think at one point the one I'm going to build did wear the woodland green modular camo, basically like yours but green on green with sand and black crow's feet. I think it wore it at one point, because there's the slant back version with the original prototype hood, which then looks like it got upgraded after the proof of concept to the squared off back and the production hood that we see on it now. Actually, I know. Give me a second. I know a good one. I know a good one. If it is an AH1Z, I know the perfect one that will set everybody's pants on fire except mine and maybe Alex here. Just give me a second. Yeah, that looks like good faded Flecktarn now with the edges popped. I'll have to come back and paint the shoulder, the national insignia on the shoulder. Oh, you'll love it. If it's an AH1Z, you'll love it. Or if it even looks remotely like it. Give me 1 second. I might have to make it, if anything. Just because I love being a butt nugget like this. Okay, it's an AH1S. I don't know what the differences are, but I'd have to find that. I'm sorry it's a Reddit link, but I don't know if this is part of a recruitment drive, but I believe that the pilot actually looks like this. I don't know if that's... yeah, that's on YouTube now. And there's a couple different ones. And I think somebody does that decal scheme. Yeah, the characters were made to look like the pilots of the aircraft. No, it's... Like I said, that's part of why I stopped going to my club. I got tired of hearing... I use this special paint with this special product, and... I don't know why it lifted, and this and that, and then... You know? But how different is the S from the Z airframe-wise? It looks like a frickin' Z. The engine layout's almost the same. Does it have the flat mount? Is it dual exhaust? Angled? I need a picture from the rear. Nope. Okay, I see it now. Large single exhaust. But yeah, these were operational airframes for a while. There's a few different ones. I don't think they'll fit on the Z because it's a different fuselage shape. Does anybody make an AH-1S? I think Hasegawa does. Hasegawa may even do those as a kit. Alright, we're gonna interrupt again. But that's part of the charm of my stream, is I have squirrel moments like this. Yes, Hasegawa does the AH-1S. And they do the Kissarusu special. Oh, I'm gonna have to look for these. Should I do the redhead or the one in the with the green like you just saw? I'm gonna have to look for this. Oh wow, they've got decals and little standees for all of them. Oh, set of... Oh, it's just the figures and the decals, I guess. Maybe. Yeah, Hasegawa makes it. I'm gonna have to find it. It's probably gonna be expensive as all hell. I mean, the front end looks like it's close enough. You might be able to get it to fit if you wanted to do it. Don't look at me. Yeah, the decals don't exist in 35th scale, I think. I'm sorry, decals. Well, next you're gonna want me say, you know, hey Hoser, you got some back bacon, eh? No, one that I would like to do, and I think somebody does make a decal set for it. So, another link coming up, but take a close look at the side of this CH-53E. This is in the first Gulf War. Oh, I'd kill for some poutine, eh? There. But look carefully at what the Marines did to the camo pattern in the side of that airframe. Alex, thank you very much for that.
This can't be happening, man. This isn't happening.
Alex tipped $30. Well, even in 172 scale, it's a handful. See.
I'm definitely gonna have to look into getting one of those now. Too bad there's not enough of the airframe intact on Blackout when he's in robot mode that you could emulate that camo pattern, but that entire area gets folded up inside him. It would be neat to do a desert camo Blackout from Transformers. But he's also an MH-53 Pavlo, he's not a CH-53E. Grindor was the... well, it's hard to tell what Grindor's supposed to be. If you watch the second movie, he switches from MH-53 Pavlo to CH-53E. You can tell by the tail. The tail of the helicopter at one point is angled and has a big crooked fin, and at the next point is straight and has a straight fin. So which one is he? I noticed that the other night when I watched it. I'm like, wait a minute. No wonder people can't figure out what he is. They used two different helicopters for one character. That's probably as good as I'm really gonna get her, isn't it? I've lost my touch when it comes to smaller figures like this, I think. Partly due to failing eyesight and partly due to I don't paint them often enough anymore. But I miss the days when we could get away with stuff like that on our airframes. I think there was a British Tornado that had some really questionable nose art in the first Gulf War. Like they actually got in trouble for it. They had to paint over it when they brought it home. Maybe I just need to invest in a good jeweler's loop and some really good brushes. But I'll search and see what I can find as far as an AH-1S. and the decals for it. Because the kit, I can imagine, is probably expensive as hell now, due to the so-called collectible nature of it, from Hasegawa. Whereas I might be able to find the AH-1S kit separately, and then find an aftermarket manufacturer who may have done an even better job on the decals than Hasegawa did. I gotta Google it now. Oh, there was a few of them. Looks like they restored one though. Or no, that's a theater picture. But yeah, just Google British Tornado Nose Art Desert Storm. You got Debbie, you got Foxy Killer. Do I need to do a nose art series now? Luscious Lizzie. Caroline, Hello Sailor. Yeah, there's a few of them. I can see why they had to fix them. I could have sworn one got restored in a museum, though. Wow, Guinness Girl's nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look for that kit, though. Oh yeah, the bigger helos can do anything they want. Yeah, I think that's about as good as we're gonna get. I'm gonna give her a dull coat, just to even out the tone from all the different paints. I think this guy's fine. He's a bit older and dull coated anyway. We might finish this on stream today. It feels like I've been on longer than I have been. I've only been on for just under 2 hours. Well, wasn't it Marlon Brando's character, Kurtz, in Apocalypse Now? So they can send our boys off to kill people in foreign countries, but they won't allow them to write fuck on their airplanes? Paraphrasing, of course. Who's down there? Hi, Allie. Hi, pretty girl. Somebody messaged me. Or called me, something. I don't know. Yeah, good thing I ran a bit of lacquer thinner through this. I had some blue residue. What the hell did I paint blue recently? Oh, the pants on... yeah. Okay. I am getting forgetful, aren't I? Oh, I saw the Redux version in the theater with my father. Like him, I understand. I appreciate what they added back in, like the medical tent stuff and the French colony. I appreciate the world building that the director was doing, that Coppola was doing, in that he was trying to give the film the same kind of visual expanse that the book would give you if you had read it. And it also shows the other sides of what was going on over there at the time. At the same time, I can see why they were also cut. Because in the grand scheme of things, they add absolutely nothing to the story. As we saw originally, you can watch the film without those parts in it, and still be... and the story can still be coherently told. We'll let that dry. While that's drying, I'm going to hose down some spots on this that got a bit weirded out from... I was a bit too young to see that one in theaters, unfortunately. But Redux came out at the right time and I was able to see it with my father in the theater. I'm trying to even down the tone from when I used the matte medium to help hold the netting down. Funny little fact, the door gunner, you know, get some! You know, that guy was the original actor picked to play Gunny Hartman. Arlie Army was just on set as an advisor. I forgot to paint her ass. No, but I was saying before those, I'm trying to keep my Humvees all kind of grounded in more correct detailing. I don't want to say accurate detailing, because I know there's inaccuracies left and right in them. Because the display I'm making, in the end I want to have it show from the prototypes that never got produced, like the Bushmaster and the Commando version, or the Desert Patrol one by Italeri. From those up into the actual production ones, like the 996, the 998, 1025, and how it's evolved and mutated over time. With the 1151 being one of the more recent and common variations. But that's why you see me bringing more common modern features into some of the more recent builds. There it is. It's something I've always wanted to do, just like a generational display of them.
Wreck the cycles.
One movie I thought was pretty good. A bit preachy on the Russian side, because Russian cinema's like that. They gotta have the actors talk. Panfilov's 28. It's about the 28 men who defended Moscow against German attacks by tanks. A neat little side note in that film is all the tanks, when seen from far, or when they're moving, are Henglong 16th scale RC Panzer III and Panzer IV tanks that have been detailed to hell and back. They used some really careful, photography, and they processed it right, that it really does look pretty damn good and seamless. And if you don't know what you're looking for, you wouldn't know they were RC tanks about 1.5 feet long. It's on YouTube, both dubbed and subtitled. Let me see if I can find it.
Wreck the cycles.
Yep, here we go. See if it's the English. Yeah. So here, if you want to watch something interesting, I don't know if this will paste or not. There. But check that out. If it'll work, I don't know. It did. Alright, so gotta get her butt stick to dry. But while that's drying, we can actually take care of something on her hair I forgot about. One movie people keep asking me to watch is that that new film Der Tiger, or Der Tiger. Doesn't interest me. At least Panfilov's had a solid basis in history. While some of what goes on in the film might be hyperbolic, the actual events did occur. The Tiger is just Timu Fury, but German-centric. Plus, of all the vehicles at their disposal in World War II, you don't take a Tiger behind enemy lines on a secret mission. That's like taking a brick to a pillow fight. It might be fun, but it's more trouble than it's worth. Welcome back. Okay, let me get her inserted while the paint's still wet so I can touch it up and not have to worry about it. No worries. Hi. Kitty cat behind me. Are you turning around to get on the table, Allie? Is that it now? Where did I put my tweezers? There they are. There she is. No, you are not chewing on that. I am not spending another $70 to replace that. She was about to chew on the barrel. This is not the proper way to enter a weasel.
Entropy.
Okay, you lean like that for a second. I'm gonna put a gob of super glue on this brush handle. Put that on the bottom of your base. Try and get you squared up as best I can. I need light in there.
Entropy.
More glue. This is not what this figure was originally intended for. She was supposed to be external on like a leopard or a gepard. Okay, some squeezy sauce to get you kicked off. A little more. There. So looking at it from above, you can plainly see there's shit all in there to look at. But when you look at it in context, that looks right. Now, I tried as hard as I could to find pictures or video of the ammunition that this thing uses. I can only find one video from its introduction way back when, and it looked like it was all brass from top to bottom, so I think I'm gonna run with that and paint the few rounds that are visible right here that color. Or should I just leave it like that? Because I really don't feel like... hard way or the easy way? Let me see for a sec. Back to the Google I go. Yeah, there's no resin sets that come up for it. I could have sworn there was one. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Well, you have to take the film in context, too. Like, and we'll talk about Fury, you know? Is Fury an accurate representation of things? Hell no. Does Fury convey what it felt like to be in a tank on the battlefield in spring of 45? I think so. And that's more important. I don't think at any point they ever marketed Fury as being historically accurate. All the marketing I remember is that it was basically a day in the life of tankers. And that's all I ever took it for. So I think I got more enjoyment out of Fury than some did. And the same goes for Saving Private Ryan. It is not by any means historically accurate. But is it functionally correct within its confines of happening in World War II? For the most part, yes. Does it give you a viscerally realistic view of what World War II was like? Yes. Correct? No. But we're not going for correctness. If we go for correctness, it's actually going to be very boring, and you wouldn't want that. I don't know. I'm about to call this thing done. Let me get some bronze or brass and see what I can do about those rounds. But that's just it. The beginning, Omaha Beach. That was probably the most factually correct part of that film. The beginning of Private Ryan is probably one of the most factually and technically correct examples of the landings on Omaha Beach. Does it show for all of D-Day? No. I think broadening it out to include the English beaches would have distilled the film too much. It would have diluted it, you know? Worn it out a bit too much. Because we weren't there to see what the English went through, or the Canadians, or anyone else. We were there to follow this 82nd Ranger Battalion group through what they had to do. And that's what we got. Could they have had them run into some English troops along the way? Sure. Did they need to convey the story? No. I think the best film overall, in terms of showing the scope of the war, is A Bridge Too Far. To me, that is one of the most technically correct war films on both a factual and functional level. Were some things embellished? Yes. But that's for the sake of story density, to keep it moving and keep it going and keep it so the audience could follow it. Overall, though, Bridge Too Far was right. It was done right. It was done well. Even to the point where Anthony Hopkins was talking to John Frost while filming, and John Frost told him how he did certain things on those days when he was there at Arnhem. I've got to fill a hole. I forgot. I drilled that hole for a different figure. Whoopsie! That'll be easy. I'm going to raise the camera up so I can get the whole vehicle into view. The wife's calling. One moment. Well, gentlemen, it has been fun. It's time for dinner, and I am hungry as hell. So, I will try and get this finished up enough to do a short tonight. Don't know if I'll make a base for it. If I do, I might incorporate some snow or something into it. I don't know, I'll figure that out. But yeah, it's dinner time. But thank you, Alex, for this donations. Keep in mind, if you'd like to support the channel, you can still sub on Twitch. Following on YouTube also helps. Just whatever you can do to help. It all helps out in the end. So, I'll see you all Friday if I'm not on tomorrow. And have a good rest of your day. Take it easy. Yep, dinner time. We're having, I think it's chicken and mac cheese. I don't know what we're having. So...